Let's see how we go in Q1 with this car. There's a lot of changes, and I'm going to talk you through some of them in this video. But here we go, down into the first corner. It's very limited grip, I have to say, as the track is very greasy. It's not raining, but it's damp, and it's really kind of hindering us in the corners, especially with a really heavy car. A bit of a new handling model, or evolution of the handling model from F124. But already you can see the understeer in the car, and I'm not running a default setup, by the way. This is a decent setup, I would like to say, at least for what we have now. And I'm already a couple of tenths up as we finish Sector 1. Just keep it within the track limits there as we start to unload the power and destroy the battery pack through this very wonky straight. Down into the very fast chicane here. Drop it down 2 gears, tip it in, try and cut this curb as much as you can, keep it within the track limits, or just bouncing over the curbing on the exit. But we've somehow found just over a second this lap, and the reason for that is I could see it was sort of dry, and I tried to go out on softs and it really didn't work. And obviously the inters are just a bit better paced for the track conditions at the moment. But rounding the final corner of this Albert Park circuit is the back end wanting to step out, but we have gained 2 seconds on our previous lap time to put us up into 4th, and I think that's possibly, well, the best performance we could really ask for in those conditions. Again, running a dry setup, but now in Q2 it is fully dry, so we are going to absolutely chuck the car in and really make use of the dry setup that we have on, which is also limiting us a little bit in Q1. So here we go, pretty tidy so far, I have to say. I've got the brake bias at around 52, which is, I would say, pretty balanced, to be honest. I think, again, because there's so much understeer in the car, really some of that turn in from the brakes really helps with the pace, especially around some of the corners that we have at Albert Park. But let me know if you guys are playing F125 at the moment. I really hope I haven't said F124 where I've meant to have said F125, but that's a lot cleaner through that fast chicane, especially on the softs with the added grip that they provide. But it's not looking like too bad of a lap, but we're not setting the timing boards alight. Max Verstappen is, though. The 1:18.9, I think that was. We go into the penultimate corner here. You've got to hit the apex, which we didn't. Max Verstappen's out of the session. I have no idea what's happened there, because he just finished his lap. Liam Lawson's out, so is Nico Hulkenberg. Definitely going to have a look at what's going on up ahead here, it seems. There's yellow flags out in turn 1, and there's about 4 or 5 cars piled up and disappearing as we go off the racetrack just to try and avoid losing any parts of our car. And I've just paused it and used the rewind just to see what was going on. You can see, look, there's Sauber, there's a Racing Bull, there's a team, and it's there, basically. And there's some pileup that's happened. I don't know if someone was leaving the pits and has caused a big accident, but that was a bit of dramatic kind of Q2 action. But where did we finish qualifying? Oscar Piastri takes pole on the starting grid there next to Lewis Hamilton, who is only about 2 tenths behind him. Alex Albon in 3rd, then Ocon 4th, Pierre Gasly, Oliver Behrman, Isaac Hadjar, Max Verstappen, Callum Voisin, P9, wasn't expecting that, Alonso P10, Sainz, Hauger, Doohan, Antonelli, Lawson, Hulkenberg. Who else have we got? Bortoletto, Yuki Tsunoda. 19th we have Lance Stroll, then Lando Norris in 20th, Charles Leclerc in 21st, and George Russell in 22nd. How is that for a mixed up grid for the first race in this F125 career?
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Well, I don't know if it's up to me, to be honest, Mark. It seems like the F1 gods have smiled on us today and, yeah, just handed us with loads of positions in qualifying. I'm assuming a bunch of people had to take penalties, which you might have seen in the starting grid lineup, but it's a hard, soft strategy for us. as we're going to go racing for the first time in F125. What will this have in store? All the lights are on. Now they're out as we go racing from P9 in our first race. Hadjar with a bit of a slow start. Verstappen already jumping him off the start. And now we're looking to go around the outside, but it's 2x2x2 up in front as we try not to hit the rear of Ollie Behrman's Haas and just fall into line. And one of the first things I noticed immediately is that as we get down the inside of not one but two cars, Ollie Behrman just giving us the space on the apex there as he actually knocks us wide, and Verstappen really comes through and gives us the treatment that you may or may not remember. No comment. I actually think Verstappen was in the right in the first place. But anyway, bit of controversy for the comments. Thank you very much. Crazy start, crazy qualifying, crazy start. The dirty air is immense. You can feel it so much. You probably can't feel it on controller if you guys play on controller. But on the wheel with the force feedback, it is unreal. You'll be able to feel it in the controller because you'll just be understeering for no reason. And yeah, I don't know if they have that stick thing. But anyway, down the inside of the Red Bull of Max Verstappen as he was getting a little bit backed up behind Gasly and Behrman up ahead. We've got the inside for the next corner running into the very final corners of the track, but Verstappen backs out of it. Probably just knows it's not his race. And to be honest, we should know it's not our race at all. We are just on the limit of grip and actually bumping the wall for good measure, but this is absolutely not where we're meant to be in qualifying. I think in Q2 we were not in the top 10 at all. I think we were maybe P12, but that just shows that we are very much a midfield car at this stage in the season. But we're actually making good use of the battery and potentially the DRS and the slipstream as well of multiple cars ahead of us. As Verstappen sticking behind, we're going to go to the outside of Ollie Behrman and steal the slipstream from Gasly, try and cut off the chicane and stop Behrman from staying side by side with us, which he did back out very early on, which I'm happy to see. There's good racecraft from him as we look to the inside, but nothing doing there past the Alpine of Gasly. And yeah, it's an incredible game. If you haven't got it and you want any endorsement to buy it, I would. Yeah, the things they've changed are like enough of a change that it really matters, but not so crazy that it's a completely different game entirely. But now to the outside as Gasly was looking at going forwards and not looking in his mirrors, and we absolutely took advantage of that as Ocon was going defensive into turn 1, and now we're up to P5, believe it or not, in our first race. But look who's around us. We have two Haas, an Alpine and a Williams, and don't get me wrong, like, all these drivers are worthy of being up here, but I was not expecting this in the first race of F125. My team is unreal. And also the strategy differences. You've got Ocon and Behrman on mediums, Verstappen was on mediums, we're on hards, Albon's on hards, Gasly's on hards. Like, it's, yeah, if you want an endorsement for the game, absolutely, here it is. Ask me any questions you want in the comments. I will give you everything I know. But we've managed to get past Ocon down that DRS straight. Nice bit of slipstream. And I have to say, the DRS feels more powerful as well. I guess to account for the harsher, dirty air. But now we've kind of got to get after Lewis Hamilton, of all people, and Alex Albon in a Williams, which I don't know what's scarier. I feel like Albon in a Williams is not a force to be reckoned with, and neither is Hamilton in the Ferrari on a good day. But there's a red flag for something. Looks like there's been a bit of a collision there. I did try and pause it to see what it was, but I didn't do it in time. But that helps us out massively. We were on the hard-soft strategy, and about halfway through the race, Mark is yapping away, yappa. We're going to go mediums, because that's our mandatory tyre. And all the lights are on from P4 on the grid. Now they're out as we go racing yet again in round 1. Is another pretty decent start from us, but Piastri's coming over to cover Lewis Hamilton. Albon's looking to the outside to try and get both of them in one move, and yes, he does. Yellow flags out behind for some collision that's happened, or potentially the retiring of a Haas, as we jump Lewis Hamilton, kind of giving him a bit of a squeeze to the inside and then the outside. It's, yeah, now we've just got to try and stay with Albon and Piastri, but you can see the difference in the performance between our cars as Albon and Piastri were running away a little bit there, but yeah, we just struggle to keep up with these guys unless they're battling. Previously, at the first half of the race, we were able to stay with everyone because they were in Haas's and Alpines, but now we're going to go around the outside of not one but two cars down this first double dose of DRS and somehow managed to beat Piastri to the punch. Maybe he's just concerned that we have nothing to lose at this point, being a sort of midfield car, and he's potentially got a championship to think about in the future as he did perform well in qualifying. He wants to get the most out of his first round of this season, while, you know, people like Norris, like Verstappen, like Leclerc and Russell are further down the order, and we might be getting the fastest lap here. But look at Oscar Piastri. I don't even know if he has DRS at this point, but he's looking to the outside, gives it a bit of a squeeze, a bit of contact, but no harm done, I don't think, to either car. And now we're just, yeah, living in our mirrors, as you can tell from what you're seeing on your screen right now. And I have to say, Albon's putting up a good fight with Gasly further back, but we've got 7 laps to go, and these mediums have to get that all that way. The tyre drop-off for tyre wear, like the grip drop-off, is more severe as well. I don't know if it's just because of the new My Team car that's a little bit lacking in downforce. Oscar Piastri to the inside but backs out of it. I think he's just trying to put pressure on us for us to make a mistake and just make it easy for him to get by. But again, nothing doing for Piastri in his home Grand Prix at the moment. We've just got to see if we can hold him off for as long as possible and then go with him, because we've got a gap to P3. A podium is very on. A P2 is very on as well. There's the back end looking like it's going to step out on us, and that gives Piastri potentially a decent run with the DRS and the McLaren in this much high performing in every way. He does brake a little bit earlier because he's on the inside and on the dirtier side of the track, and we just get that sweeping run around the outside. But I don't think we're going to be able to hold this McLaren off for too much longer, purely because of the pace difference. If you can't tell already, the pace difference is we have another little bit of a slide. We're just lacking in downforce everywhere in the car. We have too much drag. Classic My Team problems. It'll be even worse if we were starting from a very sort of newcomer stages with no development on the car, no cash or anything like that. But Piastri is coming for us now, and there's just nothing we can really do about it. He's just so quick. There's no way we're going to stay with him. Even as soon as we hit the dirty air, look how much less grip we have as we run out onto the grass, and that gives Hamilton a run as well, as he gives us a little kiss as he comes by. And we're looking to the outside, but again, I don't think there's anything we can do here. We just don't have the grip or the aero. Look at this, how wide we run through that corner. Even Gasly was all over us as yeah, we were struggling with the dirty air as well. The AI doesn't struggle as much with the dirty air, but obviously, yeah, dirty air was never really a thing, or it didn't really affect the cars too much in F124 and previous, but in this year's game it does, and it is noticeable. By far it's noticeable. But to the outside of Hamilton in the Ferrari, can we make a move stick here? No, there's nothing doing. We can't even get any sort of switch back on him because the pace isn't there. And look at all the cars we're holding up, actually. As I, yeah, kind of surprised myself looking backwards. I don't know how far this train stretches, but potentially to P10 here, which would maybe be a bit too surprising. Maybe it might be like P8, something like that. But even so, Hamilton has gone. Piastri's way up the road. All we can do is try and hold on to this P3, which Gasly's just about a second behind. We're just trying to hold on to the DRS of Hamilton, which we have done until now. Hamilton's gone. Leclerc is coming for us. Remember, Leclerc started in P21. Such is the difference between the cars. And even the red flag, actually, I didn't think about that. I don't know what tyres Leclerc started on this race, but he's made his way through the pack so well. Potentially on for a podium for him, but not if we can help it. It's lap 20 of 20. We have another chance to try and get past the 7th-time world champion, Lewis Hamilton, in the Ferrari with his teammate behind us. Can we do anything about P2? Piastri, he is gone. He's definitely won unless there's some big issue in the last sector of this circuit. We're gaining on Hamilton, running a little bit wide though, as we start to collect some of that dirty air that's coming off the back of that Ferrari. And now into the very, very final sector. We've got a couple of corners left to go. What can we do here? The dirty air is definitely going to be affecting us now. But is there a chance we can get him on the run up to the line? We're going to stick as close as we can through the last couple of corners. But look at the understeer and the oversteer at the same time. We open up the DRS, drain the battery, and it's P3.
Yes, mate, I'll take that. Well done. We're really happy with the podium down here, so well done. Yes!
What a race. What a chaotic qualifying. Everything happens, and obviously Charles Leclerc gets driver of the day.
Oscar Piastri, take a bow. What a performance. What a win.
Yeah, I mean, a win that potentially destroys the idea of the Aussie curse.
To take the win at the first race of the season, now that is important. You get straight in to your competitor's head, and they now know that you are the one to beat.
Exactly, and with everything that happened in qualifying as well, very good result.
Only 3 can take to the podium, and here they come. They give out trophies for the winners. Today, they're Oscars. Your winner today, Oscar Piastri.
Indeed, and yeah, what a race again. This is the new podium sequence, by the way. If you've been living under a rock, and you're a fan of F125, and you haven't heard about the new podium sequence, it's basically just, they took the tracking from the live cameras of the actual F1 and kind of used that as a basis of providing this slightly different way that the camera moves. But yeah, I like it.
After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Indeed, and yeah, if the rest of the season is anything like this race, it's going to be an incredible season. But we come in third, fastest lap. Piastri, Hamilton, ourselves, Leclerc, Gasly, Albon, Ocon, Alonso, Verstappen, Lawson, Doohan, Hulkenberg, Norris, Russell, Tsunoda, Sainz, Bortoleto, Hauger, Stroll, Antonelli, Hadjar, and then Behrman with the DNF there. So in the drivers, it's just that order. And in the constructors, Ferrari actually leading that so far straight off the bat. McLaren very close in behind. And then ourselves 15 points off the lead already. And yeah, that's it. These are the highlights. If you want to see them, see maybe a different view of what you had in the video. Let me know what you think of the new season of the car. Yeah, let me know if you like our chances actually going it alone. The board basically said that, hey, we earned 16 million from winning the constructors, but we had to give 49% of that to Andretti and Cadillac. So we want that money ourselves. A little bit greedy maybe, but it is what it is. They're the board. They make those decisions, right? We've just got to make the best car possible, get the best team together and make it work through the season. But yeah, what a way to start the year. And I think, to be honest, we've already hit our title sponsor requirement for the goal. So we might have a couple million in the bank after this weekend. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you picked up the game and how you're finding it. And I'll be back in a few days with round 2.